3 engineers at OpenAI shipped 1 million lines of production code in 5 months. Not one of them typed a single line. Every function, every test, every CI config written entirely by AI agents. And here's what made it work. It wasn't a better model, it was everything they built around it. The constraints, the feedback loops, the guardrails, they call it harness engineering. And it's fundamentally changing what it means to be a software developer. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how it works, why the biggest names in tech are betting on it, and how to start building one yourself. For the past couple of years, developers have been using AI to write code. And honestly, the raw generation part is kind of solved. Models can spit out functions, classes, entire modules on demand. But here's the dirty secret. 69% of teams that use AI coding tools frequently report deployment problems. Not occasionally, frequently. Without structure, agents produce what the industry now calls AI slop. Inconsistent patterns, ignored conventions, architectural drift scattered across your codebase. One developer shared how an agent found a temporary workaround and copied it 5 or 6 times across similar files. Ripping it out took longer than any feature he shipped that week. The problem was never that models aren't smart enough. The problem is that smart without structure is chaos. So what is harness engineering? The formula is that simple. Agent equals model plus harness. The model is the intelligence. The harness is literally everything else. The workflows, the constraints, the validation loops, the tool interfaces, the permissions, the memory systems. Everything surrounding the model that makes it actually useful. Think of it like this. An LLM is a horse. Enormously powerful, tireless, fast. But a horse without a saddle, bridle and reins just runs wherever it wants. That's vibe coding. The harness is the equipment that channels all that raw power toward a coherent goal. And you, the developer, you're the rider. You don't do the physical labor anymore. You choose the destination. You pick the speed. You steer. This sits in a clear evolutionary line. In 2024, the skill was prompt engineering, crafting the right input for a single model call. In 2025, it was context engineering, curating what information the model sees. Now in 2026, it's harness engineering, designing the entire system that operates around the model. Let's break down how a harness actually works. Martin Fowler's team published the clearest framework for this. They split it into 2 control mechanisms, guides and sensors. Guides are feed-forward controls. They steer the agent before it acts. Things like your agents.md file, architecture documentation, coding principles. These increase the probability that the agent does the right thing on the first try. Sensors are feedback controls. They observe after the agent acts and enable self-correction. Linters, type checkers, test suites, even AI-powered code review agents. Each control can be either computational or inferential. Computational means deterministic and fast. A linter catches a violation instantly. Inferential means semantic and slower. An AI reviewer flagging a subtle design issue. The most powerful harnesses combine both. Now, zoom out to the architecture level. OpenAI enforces strict layered dependencies. Types flow to config, config to repository, repository to service, service to runtime, runtime to UI. If an agent tries to import a UI component into the data layer, the harness blocks it at the pre-commit stage. But it doesn't just reject the code, it parses the error, extracts what went wrong, and feeds it back into the agent loop with explicit remediation instructions. The agent fixes itself. That self-correction loop is the beating heart of harness engineering. Context management is the other critical piece. Early attempts just dumped massive markdown files into the system prompt. Every rule, every convention, everything. That bloats the context window and actually degrades the model's reasoning. Modern harnesses use progressive disclosure instead. A small root file acts as a table of contents. When the agent needs to modify a specific domain, the harness dynamically retrieves only the relevant specs and constraints. The agent processes what it needs when it needs it, nothing more. The OpenAI case is the headline, but it's not the only one. Datadog built their Bits Evolve initiative, where an agent optimizes data ingestion code in Rust and Go. The harness intercepts the generated code, runs it through simulation tests against production-like workloads, and feeds the telemetry straight back to the agent. The agent iterates autonomously. The result? A 10 times performance improvement. The human's role was defining the performance contract. The harness and agent handled the rest. Then there's Manus, an AI agent company reportedly acquired by Meta for $2 billion. They rebuilt their agent architecture 5 times in 6 months. The acquisition was for the harness engineering, not the underlying model. That tells you where the value sits. And LangChain proved the point empirically. Their deep agents coding agent jumped from 52.8% to 66.5% on Terminal Bench 2.0, outside the top 30 to the top 5, by changing only the harness. Same model, same weights, just a better system around it. The ecosystem is moving fast. On the framework side, LangGraph handles stateful workflows. Crew AI does multi-agent orchestration. Mastra targets TypeScript developers. And Google's ADK plugs into their cloud ecosystem. But frameworks aren't harnesses. Harnesses are built on top of frameworks. Claude Code, OpenAI's Codex, and LangChain's deep agents are production harnesses. They provide the runtime that governs execution. The glue holding it together is MCP, Model Context Protocol, introduced by Anthropic, adopted industry-wide. It standardizes how agents talk to external tools. Instead of cramming every tool definition into the context window, agents connect to specialized MCP servers dynamically. That's infrastructure-level thinking, not prompt-level thinking. Now let's be honest about limitations. The upfront cost is real. Building a proper harness means defining fitness functions, instrumenting observability, setting up sandboxes, writing custom linters. For a startup, hunting product-market fit, that's premature. Vibe coding genuinely is the better choice in that phase. There's also the evaluator problem. Models are bad at grading their own work. An agent will write a function and then write a test designed to pass, not one that interrogates edge cases. Serious harnesses separate generation from evaluation. Different agents, different roles. And here's the elephant in the room. What Fowler's team calls the behavior harness gap. A harness can enforce that code is well structured and passes tests, but does the application do what the users actually need? That gap isn't closed yet. Here's the core insight. The discipline has shifted from writing code to designing environments. OpenAI's team said it plainly. Building software still demands discipline, but the discipline shows up in the scaffolding rather than the code. The model is the horse, the harness is the reins, the saddle, the bridle. And the developer? You're the rider. You don't run anymore, you steer.